Hi everyone, it's Luis again. Today I'm making a video on deciduous dendrobiums and how to care for them, especially during the winter months, because their culture or their care is different for the winter versus regular evergreen dendrobiums. There's three ways to find out which one you have. In my opinion, this is the best way to find out, or you could just look it up. Now, when you buy an orchid, it's good to ask the vendor if it's deciduous or not. If they don't know, you can ask a friend that will tell you, or you could just look it up. I go to this website called orchidspecies.com, and I find valuable information on whether the plant is deciduous or not. Now, if you don't want to go through all that trouble or you just don't know, the way I find out if a plant is deciduous or not is by looking at three things. One, I look at the leaves. B, I look at their pseudobulbs or their canes. And three, I look at their and whether they're upright or pendulous. Those are three characteristics that would definitely guide you in the right direction. So I'm going to start with leaves. Leaves of deciduous dendrobiums are here, thin and papery. This is green, and as you can see, and this one's already yellow, it's already falling off. So this is a papery leaf compared to something over here that is thick and leathery. Thick and leathery is usually evergreen dendrobium. Here's another example. Thick and leathery is evergreen dendrobium. So that's the leaves. The canes is different. If the plant has arching, semi-pendulous, or fully pendulous canes, this is a sign that your plant is deciduous. So, growth habit is pendulous over here. On this side is upright. So, upright is not deciduous. And the reason you wanna know the differences is because the culture or the care is different for during the winter months. The cane is, in my opinion, if you look at this, the cane is fleshy and it's separated by these bracts versus, and this is deciduous as you can see, versus this. The pseudobulb over here, you saw how I called it pseudobulb versus cane? And that's the main reason. If the pseudobulb is tall and it's club-shaped and it's thicker and it's more like a pseudobulb versus a cane, then this will be non-deciduous or an evergreen dendrobium. So, why is this important? It is important because you have to treat them different during the winter. For the evergreen dendrobiums or non-deciduous dendrobiums, what you do for the winter is minimize the watering and don't give them fertilizer. And you just keep the pseudobulbs from shriveling and they'll be fine. On deciduous dendrobium, on the other hand, you have to give them a drastic, dry, completely dry winter period. And the winter period is from December, January, and February. What you want to do is don't give them any water and don't give them any fertilizer. Now, if you live in an area that you have a distinct season where you get winter, you will start noticing that when you reduce watering and fertilizer, the leaves are starting to drop. If you can see here, some of these leaves are already falling, and that's okay. So that's a sign that your plant is going dormant. So this is what it's going to do. Now, the care for them, you have to give them a dry period. And I'm going to give you an example of a deciduous dendrobium that hasn't lost its leaves. And this I just purchased, and it came like this. So it hasn't decided to drop its leaves. Now, if you live in an area where you don't get a seasonal temperature drop and you're not reducing watering, your plant more than likely will not bloom. So what you want to do is initiate the dormancy process by giving them less water. So what I'm going to do with this one is give it less water so that it can drop the leaves, because otherwise it will not bloom. I will give you examples of other dendrobiums that are deciduous. And you see, this is what you have to look for. The canes need to look bare, ashy, brown, with the paper sheets surrounding the cane. This is what you want. And I'll give you another example. See, this one's already dropping. It only has 4 more, but these 2 are still holding on, but they're going to drop. These have dropped. And you have, this one is Deciduous. See how in the bottom there's all these leaves that are already fallen. This is what you want your dendrobium to do. And this was a phylum, and you can see that this one is only holding on to 2 leaves, but it requires this dry period for it to bloom. So that's how you determine whether your orchid is deciduous or not. And I hope if you don't know from your vendor, then you can look it up or ask a friend. But if you're you're lowering your watering frequency and you have drops in temperature, then the plant will tell you that it is time to go dormant. So I hope you like this video, and I hope I want to wish you a happy new year, and hope this new year brings you a lot of blooms, and hopefully you get to learn more from the videos that I'm providing for you. Now also I want to point out, this plant that I started with, it's a little confusing because you're like, well, wait a minute, this one is upright, not pendulous like you said. Well, this one's a little bit of both. It's neither upright like this, and it's not quite pendulous like this other one that I pointed out. So what happens is some of the hybridizing that has taken in that has been hybridizing these plants has caused them to become more upright than pendulous, and that's okay. All you have to do is, if you go to this other website called orchidrootsbluenata.com, this website's very helpful because if you put the name of the plant at the very bottom, it'll tell you all the parents that it has. So this one it has like 7 or 8 dendrobiums that are bred into here. So this is what causes that growth. But if you go by the things that I pointed out, as far as the cane looking fleshy and it almost looks bamboo-like, this will give you the telltale sign that this is deciduous versus this. So just because it's upright doesn't mean that it's an evergreen dendrobium. It could be upright but still be deciduous. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you, and I want to wish you happy growing. Bye-bye.